Good evening, Yorktown. This is Supervisor Matt Slater coming to you from Town Hall. It is Sunday, March 22nd, about 6 p.m. I wanted to speak to you all directly as my neighbors, as my friends, and as my family. In less than 2 hours, we will experience something society has not seen in generations. In fact, since the greatest generation. I know people are nervous and uneasy because these are unprecedented times. But I also know Yorktown. And I know Yorktown because I was raised right here in Yorktown. I know about our grit, I know about our perseverance, and I know about that Yorktown strength. And I know when we stand together, we can overcome even the most challenging times. I saw it during and after 9/11, and I'm already seeing it now. We have small businesses like Game Sportswear rising up to change their products to make masks, scrubs, and blankets for our frontliners and first responders. We have innovators like Yorktown School Superintendent Ron Hatter, who is repurposing the plastic sheets that were used on overhead projections in our schools. And he's repurposing them to make masks. For our first responders and our front lines, these are critical pieces of equipment. And Mr. Hatter's doing it right out of his home. We have volunteers from our civic organizations, like the Lions, the Rotary, and the Elks, who are organizing cleaning supplies for those who have tested positive for COVID-19 and can't go to the store. We have leaders like Yorktown Alliance for Safe Kids, who are putting a COVID-19 resource guide together with special resources for our seniors and our neighbors who have mental health issues or are battling substance abuse. And we're doing our best to make sure that they get the resources and services that they need during this time. These are just some of the ways that Yorktown has responded, and it's only been 1 week. Of course, this doesn't include the amazing and selfless acts of our frontliners and first responders. Folks like our doctors, our nurses, our police officers, our volunteer firefighters and our EMS personnel. These people are heroes, and our community owes them a tremendous debt of gratitude. We are seeing and witnessing a governmental response like never before. I'm in constant communication with senior White House officials, top aides to Governor Andrew Cuomo, who I have to say has done just an absolutely tremendous job here. Our state legislators, I spoke with both Assemblyman Kevin Byrne and Senator Pete Harckham just today. Our county executive, George Latimer, and his staff, who have been terrific. Our county legislators, Vidat Ghashi and Colin Smith. And Legislator Ghashi was assisting us just today on another matter that came up. Our town board members, who have been just incredibly supportive. Our school superintendents, who I've gotten to know now on a personal level because of how much we've communicated, and our school board members themselves. The cooperation and focus has just been refreshing. No partisan politics. It's about America, it's about New York State, it's about Westchester County, and it's about the town of Yorktown. To provide some updated information for you folks at home about the town of Yorktown, the updated data we now have 11 confirmed cases. That's, again, validated, confirmed cases in the town of Yorktown. And I want to remind folks, and I know that rumors are abound. They're everywhere. I hear them. Right now, according to the state of New York and Westchester County, the information and data that we have verified and that we are 100% sure is accurate is that we have 11 cases in the town of Yorktown. Previously, we had 8. That was about 48 hours ago. But I want to keep in mind for everyone at home, this has a direct correlation with the increased testing that is being done. And that's, again, much has to do with Governor Cuomo and his efforts. And right now, New York State is testing more than any other place in the country and, frankly, the world. We here at town government don't perform the tests. If you are showing symptoms and you believe you need a test, we urge you to call 888-364-3065. 888-364-3065. I know I've heard from many people who have spent quite amount of time on hold on that hotline, but that is your best resource to schedule a test for COVID-19. To manage expectations, again, as we've said in previous briefings, the information we are getting, we believe, is anywhere from 48 to 72 hours old. And so it is my expectation, again, just being completely transparent and blunt, that the true number of cases in the town of Yorktown is more to the range of 3 times what we have reported, at minimum. Earlier today, the governor, in his briefing, provided additional information for the state. And if you saw that briefing, and we continue to share as much information as we can, the expectation is for 40 to 80% of the population to come into contact with COVID-19. Now, again, we continue to look at that 80-20 split. 80% of the people who come into contact with COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus, they will self-resolve. Some folks won't even realize they have it. And that's part of the danger that we are facing. Because for folks who don't realize they have it, it doesn't mean you are on spring break. It doesn't mean you are on vacation. You still have to use the utmost precaution, which is why we have continued to restrict public access to certain things within our town. And now the governor has taken that step forward even more so, and in less than 2 hours, we will be reducing the non-essential workforce across the state of New York to 100%. This is what the governor calls New York State on pause. I know there are a lot of questions about this program, and we've been trying to provide as many answers as we can. And that's, frankly, I believe, what our role in this matter is at this point in time. This is far greater than just the town of Yorktown. And we continue, as I stated earlier, to work with every level of government to make sure we have the resources and information to share with you that is, of course, validated and accurate. So New York State on pause goes into effect at 8 p.m. tonight. As a reminder, that means all non-essential businesses statewide will be closed. I encourage everyone to go onto yorktownny.org. We have a COVID-19 page, which we continually update. So sometimes the information is on that website faster than it is here as in one of our briefings. And on the website, there's details specifically regarding what is considered an essential and non-essential business, as well as the process and proper, form and process to become an essential business. I'm going to continue with the governor's plan. 2 non-essential gatherings of individuals of any size for any reason are canceled or postponed at this time. No parties, no celebrations, no social events. We've seen this number go from 50. The CDC brought it down to 10. And now we are at non-essential gatherings are hereby canceled or postponed. Again, this is across New York State. Any concentration of individuals outside their home must be limited to workers providing essential services, and social distancing should be practiced. And I want to take this opportunity to remind folks, if you're walking through FDR, that's what you're seeing. You're seeing essential services, essential service personnel being Con Edison, who are instituting social distancing protocol. And by that, they are taking their workforce and they're spreading them out amongst the county. They have 3 sites that they're reporting to, FDR being one of them. That is not a mobile testing site. That is not one of the new mobile hospitals that we've heard the governor and the federal government talk about. That is a staging site for Con Edison. You see the tents. They come in, they get briefed within the tent, and then they get their assignments and they go to that assignment. 4 from the governor. When in public, individuals must practice social distancing, which means at least 6 feet from each other. Businesses and entities that provide other essential services must implement rules that help facilitate social distancing of at least 6 feet. Individuals should limit outdoor recreational activities to non-contact and avoid activities where they come in close contact with other people. This is one of the exact reasons we restricted access to our active parks, for this reason. Because when this started, there were reports, and we have them on video, of basketball games, of ultimate frisbee. And you heard the governor, if anyone was watching it today, you can't play basketball effectively if you're 6 feet apart from each other. And so rather than continue to allow that to happen and pose a greater risk, which is what it is, and some people might not agree with it, but that's what it is, because we cannot guarantee the full public health and safety of people engaging in these activities. Our active parks were closed in the town of Yorktown and remain closed. We said individuals, again, should limit themselves to outdoor recreational activities, to non-contact, and avoid activities where they come into close contact with other people. And I have here the Yorktown Trail Town maps. This is one of the things that we had encouraged people. We had Jimmy Moderano, our Parks and Rec superintendent, here. One of the things we encouraged people to do was to take advantage of the Yorktown Trail Town resource. We have 40 miles of nature trails. I spent yesterday morning with my kids in Sylvan Glen in Mohegan Lake, and it was incredible. And there were a few people that we saw there. It wasn't too crowded, to be honest, but there are opportunities for you to still get some fresh air in a safe way. Continuing with the governor's plan, individuals should limit use of public transportation to when only absolutely necessary and should limit potential exposure by spacing out at least 6 feet from other riders. Metro North and the MTA are continuing to operate. The Beeline bus service is continuing to operate. We had a conversation with County Executive Latimer, and the Beeline bus service at this point in time continues to operate on a normal schedule. But again, we are urging residents to only utilize these modes of transportation if absolutely necessary. Continuing with the governor's plan. Point 8, sick individuals should not leave their homes unless to receive medical care and only after a telehealth visit to determine if leaving the home is in the best interest of their health. Number 9, young people. And I smile because I remember being a young person in this town. Young people should also practice social distancing and avoid contact with vulnerable populations. There have been quite a few reports that we have heard about regarding young people continuing in our community to engage each other in manners that, frankly, are unsafe at this point in time. And so the governor has been very clear and direct. Young people can, in fact, contract COVID-19 or the coronavirus. And we all seen the statistics. The greatest danger with young people right now is that they will potentially transport the virus to a more vulnerable population. Our seniors, individuals with compromised immune systems, or individuals who suffer from respiratory ailments. So our young people need to pay attention. They need to be smart. They need to use common sense. Lastly, from the governor's plan, we encourage the use of precautionary sanitizer practices such as alcohol wipes and hand sanitizer whenever possible. I know there's a lot of questions that people have regarding the New York State on pause. Some of the things that you did not hear there: no road closures. I've gotten quite a few calls. We are not closing roads in the town of Yorktown. You will not see checkpoints. You will not see road blockades. You are able to get in your car, but again, only if absolutely necessary. But if you need to get in your car to go from point A to point B, the roads remain open. In addition, the governor also discussed Matilda's law, which pertains to our seniors Matilda be named after his mother, and it also pertains to our seniors and individuals who I said earlier have compromised immunities or respiratory issues. Matilda's law from Governor Cuomo calls for the following: for you to remain indoors. We've been saying this for a number of days now. Please remain indoors. To go outside for solitary exercise. There's no group activities for folks who fall under Matilda's law. To pre-screen all visitors and aides by taking their temperature and seeing if the person is exhibiting other flu-like symptoms. This was an issue, again, I said earlier in one of our previous briefings, that the town of Yorktown was in front of. We were in front of it because we had required, and we are continuing to require, home health aid agencies to screen their home health aides before giving them new assignments in the town of Yorktown. So if you do have loved ones who utilize home health aides, we urge you to ensure that they are being properly screened and checked by their agency. The last thing we need is to have a home health aide who may be showing symptoms potentially put a senior or someone they're caring for at risk. And so I think this is a very important point for people to follow and implement to the best of their abilities. Continuing with Matilda's law, again from Governor Cuomo, do not visit households with multiple people. He encourages folks, again, our seniors, immunocompromised, and individuals with respiratory ailments to wear a mask when in the company of others. And to the greatest extent possible, everyone in the presence of vulnerable people, again, our seniors, immunocompromised, and individuals with respiratory ailments, should wear a mask. Always stay 6 feet away from individuals and do not take public transportation unless urgent and absolutely necessary. And those are that's Matilda's law as directed by Governor Cuomo, again, for our seniors, immunocompromised, and respiratory, and individuals who deal with respiratory issues. Back to the town, just a couple more announcements and reminders for folks. BJ's is open from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. for our seniors and those with compromised immunities. The Chico's is open from 7:30 to 8:30, Acme from 7 to 9, Uncle Giuseppe's from 7 to 8. All that information can be found on the town's website, yorktownny.org, under the COVID-19 page. Again, this is just for seniors, individuals with compromised immunities, or respiratory ailments. BJ's is from 8 to 9, the Chico's 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning, Acme from 7 to 9, Uncle Giuseppe's from 7 to 8. We've had some questions regarding bulk pickup. And our R&R crew and town government, we do continue to operate. Town government does not fall under the 100% threshold. We have been adhering to the governor's original 50% threshold. And so we ask for your patience because we are running on a skeleton staff. But for sections 2 and 3, collection in section 2 will now start on Monday, April 6th. Collection in section 3 will begin on Monday, April 13th. For those who are in section 1, as scheduled, it will start tomorrow, March 23rd. Again, we just ask for your patience and understanding considering the reduced workforce that we are currently utilizing here out of town government. In addition, for those as well who may not have been privy, our town courthouse is no longer open to the public. Anyone with court business should telephone the court at 914-962-6216. In addition, the Yorktown Police Department, who continues to do a phenomenal job, will be further limiting access to its lobby and will utilize its intercom. Additionally, the Shed the Meds drop-off and car seat installation are hereby suspended. Also, for those who may have heard or may not have heard, there is a drop box in the courtyard under surveillance between the PD and the courthouse. We are asking anyone who may have PPEs, that's gloves, gowns, masks, to donate them to our frontliners and first responders. You can do that right in the courtyard. There's a Dropbox. Like I said, it's a secure Dropbox under 24/7 surveillance, and that will be properly dispersed to our frontliners and first responders. And we've already had quite a few people donate items through the Dropbox, and we are already putting them to good use. So we thank you all for your help and support. So just to recap again, our number in Yorktown is now officially at 11, although I do expect that number to be more realistically 3 times that. The state of emergency for the town of Yorktown, for Westchester County and the state of New York remains in effect. President Trump has declared New York State a federal disaster area. It's actually the first time, I believe, that a federal disaster area was initiated and claimed based on a pandemic as we are in right now. And we continue to work with all of our partners in government, again, from the federal government down, in a nonpartisan fashion to protect our residents and to keep everyone safe. I want to, at this point, try something different, if everyone could just bear with me momentarily. We are Facebook Live right now, and we continue to stream all of our briefings. We also continue to post them on our YouTube page, as well as the town's website. You can watch it streaming live on the town website, and you can watch the videos after the fact. So since we are on Facebook Live, and there are many questions regarding this, I will actually like to open it up to questions and have a bit of a town hall right now with the folks from Yorktown who may have a question that I might be able to answer. Like I said, there are quite a bit of questions, and I will do my best to answer any and all questions that I can. And so if you do have any questions, if you want to throw them up on the Town of Yorktown page, if you're watching from home, if anyone has a question, you can also call. And Tommy, I know we said we may not do this, but I do feel that it's important. You can call, and the phone is right here. And the phone number to call is 914-962-5722, extension 216. So if you do have any questions, and I'm trying to monitor this as we speak, feel free to throw them up on the Facebook page right now. It's good to see Judge Salagonia tuning in. It's always good to see you, Judge, and a number of other of our residents and neighbors. But if we do have one call. Hello, this is Supervisor Slater. Good. How are you? Good. Yep. Correct. That's a great question. So the question for everyone at home is regarding property taxes. There is the federal government and the state government have extended their deadlines into July. The town does not have the authority to just extend our property tax deadline on its own. We are working with our partners in government, both in the county and state level, to try to obtain a waiver. That's something that we continue to have conversations about. I was on a conference call just Friday with County Executive Latimer and all of the mayors and supervisors of Westchester County, and that's something that we are trying very hard to advocate for and try to work with the state to get that waiver. So until that's something that we continue to work on. Tax bills, no, tax bills will go out, and we hope to have a waiver in place by the time that they hit. That's something that we are continuing to work on collectively as a county with all of our local municipalities. Mm-hmm. If the bill comes in, yep, that's a great question. The question was, if she wants to pay her bill, what does she do? There is a Dropbox at the front door that we have established here in town, and you can put it right in the Dropbox, and it's checked twice a day. That's right out. Yep, right in front of Town Hall. There's a Dropbox for any material or documents that someone wants to drop off, including payment for their taxes. Correct. Correct. And I'm sure that once they open it and they process it, they will make sure to provide a receipt for you as a taxpayer. That's something that we're going to work with our tax receiver on and her staff. I don't have that answer directly for you. Yes, we collect the items out of the drop box minimum once a day, but more so it's been turning into 2, if not 3 times a day. Okay? You're welcome. You are welcome. Stay safe, okay, and stay healthy. Yes. No, I'm not allowed to disclose by several laws the individuals or where in town they are. That information, we had to sign an NDA with the county to get that information. Again, we're just bound by certain laws and parameters of what we're able to provide to the public. Most municipalities, I don't even think are providing the number to the public, but it's something I believe that the public of Yorktown deserves. So we're providing the information we can within the bounds of the law. Okay? You're welcome. Bye-bye. And we continue to take questions. You can post it on Facebook, on the town's Facebook page, or you can call us here, and it's 914-962-5722, extension 216. I know the phone rang a few times while we were answering that last question. We have another caller. Yorktown Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. So the question for the folks at home is if there was a centralized source of the infection. I am not privy to that information. They only provide the individuals, certain individuals, and where they and that information that we are allowed to provide to the public is actually protected by law. So I think I lost that caller, so we're going to go to another one. Let's see if this works. Our great phone system here. Hello, this is Town Hall. Supervisor Slater. 888-3. So the number for the hotline for everyone at home is 888-364-3065. And that's the New York State hotline. It's 888-364-3065. You have to call that hotline in order to get approved to get a test. There is the drive-through testing site down in New Rochelle that continues to operate. They're trying to get more drive-through testing sites in the region. They are trying to open one in Rockland by Bear Mountain. So that may be an option for Yorktown residents. But that's the first step is getting through to the hotline at 888-364-3065. You're welcome. Have a good day. Stay safe. Question from Facebook. And I do have Councilman Ed Lackerman here who's providing some help and support. What's the question, Councilman?
Can I go to the post office?
Yes. If it's an absolute emergency, you can go to the post office. We have not been notified of the post office being closed down. The DMV has been instructed to close down effective starting tomorrow. And so the other part of that, for those who are having an expired license or an expired inspection, or if you need documentation that's renewed, according to the order, anyone who needed something by March 1st, that will continue to carry forward until the order is moved. So if you do have a registration or you do have an inspection or your license expires, you can continue utilizing your vehicle and your driver's license per the governor's order up until the order is lifted, which will provide that information for you. We have another call. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. And so the caller, thank you so much for calling. The caller, again, was concerned about our youth, and I will reemphasize what the governor said. Our youth are not immune to COVID-19 or the coronavirus. They can in fact contract the virus and either suffer from it or transport it to our more vulnerable residents, such as our seniors, immunocompromised, and those with respiratory issues. So we urge our youth, and I grew up here as one of them. Please, it's not spring break. I know school's out. I know you feel that you're. I remember the mindset, but it's not true. It's just not true. You yourself can become sick. You can get your entire family sick. You can get your loved ones sick. And I'm not just saying the sniffles. I'm talking about significant and serious illness that could potentially cause someone to frankly wind up in the hospital and ICU and beyond. It's very real. So to our youth, please use common sense. To our parents, I'm not one to lecture, and I'm not trying to, but your assistance here is important. And so if you could help our community and our county and our state and our country by talking to your children, by trying to keep them home as best as you can, it would really go a long way in helping all of us get past this situation. And we have another call. Ed, do we have any, Councilman? Do we have any other?
Yeah, someone wanted to know if we could limit the number of people shopping in stores of Yorktown.
There's no limitation just yet for a number of people shopping. There's just specific times that you can find on our website, and I'll read shortly. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Okay. Yep. Yep. Yes. So the question becomes, we have someone on the phone who has someone trying to pick something up from Connecticut, and the answer to your question is yes, she is able to drive. Again, as I stated earlier, there's no checkpoints, there's no road closures. So if she needs to drive to pick this up, she's more than able to. No, she should not have any issues in regards to what's going into effect. You're welcome. Stay safe and stay healthy. Absolutely. Thank you. Bye-bye. What other questions do we have?
Some of the comments, there was a question about someone whose sister is visiting from Vermont. Will she be able to go home?
That's the same question that we just had. In fact, again, yes. I've heard from people driving up from Florida who are away on vacation coming home. We just had an individual whose daughter needed to pick something up from Connecticut. They were leaving it outside of their house. Yes, if you have someone who is traveling either home or from a vacation, there's no road closures. There's no checkpoints. There's no barriers. So as long as they're not breaking the law when they're driving, then there's going to be no issues or concerns from our standpoint.
At this time, the closest testing site is Glen Island Casino still?
Yes, the closest testing point that we are aware of, the mobile testing site, and I want to be clear on this, it's the mobile testing site, is at Glen Island down in New Rochelle. You have to call the state hotline. That number, once again, is 888-364-3065. And we have another caller here. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. I'm good. How are you, sir? That's a great question. I appreciate it. So the caller's questioning schools. Our schools remain closed. They were ordered closed for 2 weeks by Governor Cuomo, and I know that the school superintendents are providing some online schooling for those for the students. But right now, that 2-week closure remains in effect. There's been no public announcement made about any extending that closure or when they intend to open at this point in time. No. Okay? You're welcome. Thank you very much. Stay healthy. Thank you. Ed, do we have any other questions coming over? Or have an answer?
There was one if there was anything to be done for renters.
Oh, that's a great question. So renters, no one can be evicted for lacking a rent payment, whether residential or commercial, for 90 days. In addition, and that's an order from the governor. In addition, mortgage payments have also been waived for 90 days, and that's also an order from the governor, and we'll provide that information on the town website for anyone who has questions about it. We're still getting some clarity exactly what that means, if it only impacts individuals who are facing financial hardship as a result of this crisis. But the governor has issued 2 orders, one pertaining to a 90-day waiver of mortgage payments, and no evictions, residential or commercial, for the next 90 days due to a lack of rent payment. Other questions that we might have on Facebook, Ed?
Visiting, live in a condo of 4 apartments. Can people come in and out visiting with grandchildren?
Great question. So the question was if someone can come in and out of condos and apartments with grandchildren. The short answer right now is yes, legally. I would highly advise against doing that. And we have certain living quarters here. I think of Beaver Ridge. I think of Wynwood Oaks. Wynwood Oaks is restricting visitors, even though they're not required to by state law. But I think that is the prudent and correct measure to take. And we have another phone call. Lost him. Other questions?
I see people walking the track. Is that considered a park?
That's a great question. The track is closed, as is the Veterans Field. This is in town. So we're talking about Veterans Field in town, next to the Albert A. Cappellini Community and Cultural Center. That has been closed. The field has been closed. The outdoor equipment has been closed, and the playground has been closed. And I know that I've spoken with a number of people about this, and I've said it earlier. It's closed because it's not the track. The track, frankly, is not the concern. It's the field, it's the playground, it's the workout equipment, because we cannot guarantee, and this decision was not made alone, this was made in consultation with our park superintendent and the Westchester County Commissioner of Health. We could not guarantee public health and safety of people utilizing these facilities. And I have another phone call. Hold on one second here. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Hey, Mark, how are you? That's a great question. Mr. Lieberman's on the phone, and he questioned about a blood drive. I spoke with the governor's office just yesterday because our friends at the mall were hoping to organize one because they recognize the importance of it. Unfortunately, the governor's office did not feel that it was something that should be allowed because, again, there's issues pertaining to social distancing and a variety of other issues that they put forward. So it's a complicated scenario which I haven't gotten a clear guidance on yet. I recognize the shortage, but right now, from the blood drive that we were trying to organize with our partners at the JV Mall, the governor's office advised us not to have that event. I can get an answer for you, Mark. I don't know the answer. The question was if someone should go to the Red Cross facilities in order to donate blood. Councilman Lachterman is saying yes. I have not been asked that question before, but I guess they're doing it by appointment. And there's social distancing at the seats. So that's the first time I've been asked that question, Mark, so I apologize if I didn't know the answer, but Councilman Lachterman is reporting that you can do it by appointment, and they do provide you social distancing between the seats. So I would contact the Red Cross directly. You're welcome, sir. Stay healthy. Bye-bye. So for folks at home, the number is 914-962-5722, extension 216. Again, we are live on Facebook right now, and we do have questions being posted on our Facebook page. And you can also call right here, and I'm here again joined by Councilman Lachterman, thankfully, because he's answering the questions. He's helped me answer the questions. Do we have, let me answer this one, and then we'll go to Facebook. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Hi, Stephanie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Stephanie's question is, how do we address the issue of folks downplaying the significance of the situation? And I think that you're seeing firsthand, and we're going to see again at 8 o'clock tonight, the true seriousness of the situation at hand. Again, we're going to reducing, the state of New York is reducing statewide to 100% non-essential workforce. I don't think we can be any more clear with that action about the seriousness of the situation. And so whether it's an elected official or not, I think everyone has to recognize that this is not a fluke. This is real. We've been talking about it, and I've been here doing these briefings now for I think a week, and it's something that people need to take seriously. They need to take the parameters seriously, and we've said before, it's a mindset. And so the things that we're doing across town is to help flatten the curve and save lives, and that's just a fact. I haven't. Yeah, I honestly, Stephanie, I haven't heard any specifics, but I will most definitely address it with all the local elected officials here in Yorktown. Not a problem. Okay. Thanks for calling. Bye bye. Again, we're here at Town Hall. We've just provided our briefing. We are taking questions from the public because there's a lot of questions. Starting at 8 o'clock tonight, we are going to be reduced to 100% non-essential workforce across the state of New York. And there are a lot of questions that people have about the situation, about what's happening here in town. We do have 11 confirmed COVID-19 cases in Yorktown, and so we're here just providing answers to any questions people might have. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a good question. The question, the individual on the phone is actually moving, and obviously with everything happening, there are questions about whether or not they can continue to do so. And if I can take your number down, I don't know the answer off the top of my head, but I will get some guidance from our partners in government and get right back to you. What's the best number for you? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, so let me do some research on this for you. And I'm sorry, what's your name again? Sure. All right, Myrna, no problem. I will get some answers for you and get in touch with you as soon as I can, okay? You're welcome. Stay healthy, okay? Bye-bye. So again, we are here at Town Hall, and the phone is ringing. Now you're the supervisor.
No, leave it.
What questions do we have on Facebook?
I just want to comment. I'd like to thank the people that are thanking the town employees for everything they've been doing for keeping up, and for you. Hedwig Drive made a comment, and
Our staff has been absolutely tremendous considering the circumstances. I don't think anyone ever anticipated dealing with something like this, and the town staff and our department heads. Again, we lead from the front in Yorktown, and we've been ahead of the curve in a lot of different ways, and our staff has been incredibly accommodating. Again, for those who don't know, we're on a 50% workforce reduction right now, so some departments are working every other day, some every other week, depending on the department. I can tell you that tomorrow there are quite a few who aren't supposed to be working just because it's not their week, and they are volunteering across town with some of our seniors, delivering food to our seniors, helping our senior nutrition program. I know you're going to be delivering some as well, and just absolutely tremendous effort from our staff during this trying time. So they do deserve a big round of applause. I'm going to take this call and we'll keep going. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Yes. So the question is, there's the mall is closed, and there's a bank. Is the bank? Are you talking about the Chase Bank outside, or the bank within the mall? And which is the bank in the mall? Can you remind me, sir? Key Bank. Okay. Let me. If I can get your number, I will. I'll track down an answer for you. What's your number, sir? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I don't know the answer off the top of my head about how to get access to the bank that is within the mall that is now closed, but we will surely get an answer and get back to you as fast as we can, okay? Okay. Thank you. Stay healthy. So we continue to have, again, this is an unprecedented situation, and we've been committed to providing valid and accurate information to the public as soon as we can. And so there's a lot of questions out there regarding the 8 p.m. deadline and what does that mean for our community. We were trying our best to provide those answers as best as we can. Again, I'm joined by Councilman Lachterman, who I'm very thankful is here to read off some questions and provide some answers for us. Do we have more on Facebook?
Here's one just asking you to speak to the people of Jefferson Village on how the seniors need to keep their family members away.
Yeah. So our friends in Jefferson Village, and I know most of you, this is not a time for socialization. We understand that people are worried. We understand people are concerned. It's not a time to take visitors. We are urging you, Matilda's Law, named after Governor Cuomo's mother. My grandmother, who lives in town, hasn't spoken to me now in close to 4 days because I won't step foot in her house because the risks are too great. We don't want to see you get sick. And frankly, if you look at the statistics, our seniors is part of the vulnerable population that can be dramatically impacted by this virus. So now more than ever, we need you to be smart. Now more than ever, we need you to adhere to the parameters that we are putting forth, not just in the town of Yorktown, but from the governor and the president as well. And for the time being, we're asking you to restrict your visitors. Frankly, I believe the restriction should be across the board unless absolutely necessary. Obviously, for those with home health aides, that's a different scenario. But for our seniors, you should not be taking visitors, especially your grandchildren, during this trying time. And the phone continues to ring, so I'm going to answer it and take the next question. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Hey, how are you? Thank you. Yeah. So the question is the 90-day waiver on the mortgage, and as I said earlier, there's greater clarity that is needed. And I was on the phone with Senator Harckham today. That's one of the things that we are trying to work through together, because to your point, you don't want it where you think you have a waiver for 90 days and then you have a 3-month bill due the following month. Really, it'd be a 4-month bill, right? So we're trying to get the clarity on that from the governor's office. Again, that's part of the problem here is we've got so much information and it's so fluid. The specifics matter. And so we're trying to, right, exactly. So I would urge you to continue to monitor the town's website, yorktownny.org. We have a COVID-19 page there. And then we'll provide any updated information we get from any of our partners in government, specifically regarding the 90-day waiver for evictions, as well as mortgages. We'll continue to post that information as we get it, and I'll continue to share it in settings such as these whenever we get it validated to share to the public, okay? All right. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Can you let people know which town employees are essential or non-essential?
I consider every town employee essential, period, end of discussion, which is why all town employees are continuing to work, even the library. I know the library is closed. But they continue to provide an essential service, I believe, to our community. And that service may not be one that we can access today, but they're preparing for access in the future, because in the future, the library will be back open again. So I don't consider it essential versus non-essential. We're in this together. The staff has been great, and I really do appreciate their understanding and efforts during this trying time. And I'm going to answer the phone for next question. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Hello? Hi there, how are you? Yep, I hear you loud and clear. Sure. So if you go on to the CDC's website, so the question is immunocompromised respiratory ailments. That has been defined by the CDC as well as the Department of Health. Respiratory ailments are things like chronic asthma, immunocompromised. I think things like MS. I think Lyme was one of them as well that I saw. So you can go online on the CDC's website or the Department of Health's website, and you can get a greater clarification exactly as to what those mean. Okay. Thanks so much. Stay safe. Okay. Bye bye. That's a great question. What does it mean?
Here's a question that we really told where those infected have traveled.
Great.
In town.
So I'm glad that came up, and I know it's a question that people continue to ask me. I want people to understand, when I get the list from the county as to those who have been who have tested positive for COVID-19, I just get the list. I don't get known contacts. I don't get known businesses they've frequented. I don't know where they work. That's not my role, nor the information we're provided. The way that it has worked is when someone tests positive, the Department of Health gets a list of places they've visited and individuals they've contacted, and the Department of Health does that outreach. Town government has nothing to do, zero. We have no role in that process of notification for those who have tested positive for COVID-19. We don't even know when the tests are being taken. We only know the results, and those results right now are about 48 to 72 hours behind. So again, the number we had today was 11. I expect the true number to be more like 3 times that number, considering the level of testing that's happening in New York State. I think we just lost our next caller. Do we have any other questions that people are asking?
Someone had commented that Governor Cuomo had given a little information that the mortgage amount due will be placed at the back end of the mortgage.
Again, we're waiting for clarification regarding the mortgage issues and the eviction issues. We will continue to work with our partners in government to get clarification, and we'll post that on the town's website, and I'll provide it as succinctly as we can for everyone at home.
There was something about someone posting "say something, see something" for people in the parks. Is that something that we should contact anyone in particular?
Yeah, I mean, if you do see people out there, the question is about say something, see something. If people really want to report individuals who may be congregating or in places that they shouldn't be, I would urge you to call the non-emergency police line here in Yorktown, and that's 914-962-4141, 962-4141, and you can report it to the Yorktown Police Department. And I'm going to answer the phone. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Yeah, good question. The question is, how did the individuals know they were infected, the 11 that we have? I don't know if they specifically called the number. That's the way it's set up now. My guess is that they did, because I'm not privy to that information. But if they were to call the number, they ultimately get tested. They have someone they either go to the mobile testing site in New Rochelle, or they have someone come to your house and they perform the test, and then they get notified of the results of that test. Correct. I understand exactly, and so yes, they do come to your house. We do have. I've driven through neighborhoods and I've seen the testing on people's front lawns, and it's not something that people frankly are going to welcome seeing, because you do have individuals in full hazmat suits doing the testing, but they do come to your house instead of having you drive down to New Rochelle or over to Rockland County. Number one move you have to make is call 888-364-3065. That's the first move to get tested. You're welcome. Stay healthy. Bye-bye. Ed, what do we got?
What if your boss will not adhere to the 6-foot distancing for a local essential business? If you're in a situation like that, OSHA is providing guidance. So you could, in theory, contact the Department of Labor, and that's probably the best course of action at this point in time, considering what we are trying to institute here in New York State. I just want to point out there's been some questions re-asked that were answered that you might want to let people know they can re-watch the
Sure.
video.
What were some of the questions that we keep hearing?
About moving, in the middle of a move.
Yeah, so we're going to get some information about the moving question. Again, for those who are in the process of moving, I don't recall seeing moving companies considered an essential service. and that is on our website and at yorktownny.org. So you can jump onto the town's website on the COVID-19 page, and you can see what categories are, in fact, designated as essential services. Other things that other people were saying again? Again, we are the trash and recycling schedule. I just saw that pop up. That continues as is. The only change is the bulk pickup. Section 1 bulk pickup starts tomorrow, March 23rd. Section 2, Monday, April 16th. And Section 3, April 13th. We just ask for your patience and understanding because we are running 50% of capacity with our staff. I missed that call. And we just had someone else call. So again, you can call here at Town Hall, 914-962-5722, extension 216. Again, we are here answering your questions. I'm joined by Councilman Ed Lachterman, answering your questions about the COVID-19 situation here in the town of Yorktown, starting at 8 o'clock in 1 hour and 5 minutes. New York on pause goes into effect, meaning 100% of non-essential personnel does not report to work. And Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Sure. Sure. The first question is about Acme workers wearing masks. I don't know. That has not been instituted, at least mandated by government. So if they do institute that at this point, I know that there were supermarkets that were installing plexiglass between the cash register when you check out. But I have not been told of any mandate by the government or policy by individual businesses to mandate masks at this time. I understand the Chico's had the plexiglass. They were installing that. And I believe it was Acme, which also had was also installing plexiglass. I have not seen it myself, so that's just what I was told. Yeah, the News 12 is reporting peak skills at 8. That was the report as of this morning. I do not. The only reason I know I don't. The only reason I know that is because News 12 reported it. In the individual municipalities are only being sent their individual counts, so I don't know any other information about any other municipality other than what was publicly disclosed in the news. That's a good question. The question was about payments of the storage unit. I have not been told or informed of any changes to that payment cycle. So I would contact the storage unit itself and see if they're changing their policies about renting storage spaces and access to that storage space. But there's nothing from the government that I've been told of from the state government or national government or here in Yorktown regarding payment of storage units. You're welcome. Stay safe. Ed, we got other.
Yeah,
we moved you over.
Yes, they moved me over and gave me a mic.
There you go. Now you're a DJ.
So there have been a couple of questions about one about a kitchen remodeling that was scheduled. Someone about people coming over to do haircuts and nails.
So hold on. Let's start with haircuts and nails. Again,
House
6
calls.
feet. How do you?
Yeah.
Listen, I need a haircut. How do you get a haircut with someone cutting your hair if they're doing it 6 feet away? It's just that's not going to happen. So we just again we're not trying to inconvenience people. That's not the point here. The point is to protect people and to make sure that people recognize that 6 foot distance, we've been talking about 6 feet from day one as part of the social distancing protocol. It needs to be adhered to protect you, and not just you, but if you violate it, you could be putting other people at risk. There is social responsibility here that we're asking for people to participate in. And so, frankly, I don't think, again, I'm not trying to be anti-business at all. That's the last thing I'm trying to be. But I don't think that it's proper for someone to be getting a haircut, even if it's privately. Next question?
Want to grab the phone?
No, I'll grab the phone. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. You're welcome. So the question is regarding the 11. I do not know the status of each individual. I'm only given a list of 11 people who tested positive. Whether they're in the hospital or at home, that information is not included. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. The individual on the phone has a sophomore in high school, and I would encourage you to which school district is it? Yorktown, great. And Dr. Hatter's done, I think, a phenomenal job of communicating with parents. And so I think that the standardized testing issues are being addressed by the state. I don't know specifically regarding the regents what they decided to do. And so if you want, I can either A, take your number and get back to you with that answer, or B, I would urge you to check on the Central School District, the Yorktown Central School District's updates from Dr. Hatter. Sure, what's your number? Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 2307, your name? Denise. Okay. Denise, no problem. I'll get you an answer and get back to you, okay? All right. Stay safe and stay healthy, okay? Appreciate it. All the best. Bye-bye. Again, it's Supervisor Matt Slater. We provided some information for the public. Right now I'm joined by Councilman Ed Lachterman. And if you do have questions, you can post them on the town's Facebook page, or you can call 914-962-5722, extension 216. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. I'm good. How are you doing tonight? Absolutely. Well, just trying to share valid information with the public to try to give everyone the best information we can. Correct. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I spoke with, so this is regarding Game Sportswear. My understanding is right now that the governor's office, we've contacted the governor's office, we've got our state senator personally invested and involved. There was a great video that she posted yesterday showing her space. And so my understanding is it's not an if, it's a when. And so right now they're processing all of the individuals who have continued to reach out, all of our small businesses and Main Street businesses that have reached out to provide services like this one. And so it's just a tremendous effort from your company, and it makes our town just really proud. And like I said earlier, this is Yorktown, and this is how we lead, and we have amazing people doing amazing things. So we do appreciate all your efforts. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Again, we're here trying to answer questions regarding COVID-19. You can post a question on our Facebook page, or you can call us at 962-5722, extension 216, and we're going to continue answering questions from the public. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Of course. Sure. No problem. You got it. Thanks. Bye-bye. So the question from the individual is FDR Park. Again, FDR Park is open for the public. All state parks are open for the public. When you go to parking lot 3, you're going to see a fleet of Con Edison trucks. You're going to see white tents. You're going to see a trailer that's got some restrooms. This is not a mobile testing site. This is not one of the hospitals that the Army Corps of Engineers are trying to set up. This is part of Con Edison's social distancing protocols that they're putting in place for their employees. And so their employees are reporting there. They're reporting to either their Wright Playland or their main operation in Eastview, and they're getting their assignments in the tents. Once they get their assignments, they're in the trucks and they're off, so it's minimizing congregating of their employees in one spot. So if you do go to FDR, And I drove through earlier with my family today. There were a number of people out there. And you get to parking lot 3, do not be alarmed. And that's part of the reason I want to do this, because we're battling, and the governor said it the best. It's a two-front battle. We're battling the virus, but we're also battling misinformation. And it's the misinformation that's going to cause fear. It's the misinformation that's going to cause panic. And so my theory is by providing as much information as I can to you, the public, we can combat the misinformation, again, because I'm providing validated, accurate information, combat that misinformation, and we can all calmly get through this unprecedented situation. And that's our goal. So again, I'm here with Councilman Ed Lachterman. The phone continues to ring, so we'll take more questions.
I got one from Facebook real quick. Well, actually, it got texted. Is the town dump still open? Did that change?
I'll get to that in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Oh, thank you. Yes. Correct. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's a great point. So the caller is raising a point because the parameters that are being put forward by New York State is in conjunction with multiple other states: New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Delaware. I believe is now involved, at least with the 100% workforce reduction. And so the issue is that when it comes to non-essential healthcare workers, New York's does not match New Jersey. That's above my pay grade, quite frankly. That's an issue between the governor of New York and the Governor Murphy. I can most definitely raise it, and I'm more than happy to do that, and I will. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and that's been the biggest problem, is getting clarity on that gray area, and I completely hear you, and I agree with you. Oh, I appreciate that. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Stay well. So again, we're here answering questions that the public might have. Now, we had one about the Hill, correct?
Correct.
The Hill is open. It was opened this weekend by our highway superintendent, Dave Paganelli, who I really want to thank for his partnership and leadership as well. He continues to do a fine job taking care of all of our roads. And again, he's doing it under a reduced workforce, just like the rest of our departments are right now. And so, but the Hill was open this weekend. It continues to be open. You can find that information directly on our website, yorktownny.org. It is under the COVID-19, on the COVID-19 page, specifically the hours that the Hill is open. We have another caller. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Okay. Right. 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 And what was it called again? Right. 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 Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate it. I will raise, so the caller is raising concerns about seniors going to pick up their medication. Yes, this is a state issue, not a town issue, but I will most definitely raise it with the governor's staff when I speak with them again and see if what their plan is to address it. Would you like to give me your number so I can get back to you? Okay. Sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 6135. All right, Susan. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Stay well, okay? Bye-bye. Councilman, do we have any other questions with regards to Facebook?
Will we be able to provide essential employees with PPE?
I mean, again, I think I've said it before, all of my employees I consider essential. We are working diligently to try to obtain any safety garments that we can get our hands on. And should they become available, absolutely. Right now, I can state specifically that the town does not have a stockpile of gloves, masks, or gowns. Most of those, all of those, excuse me, are being split between our frontliners, our doctors and nurses, as well as our first responders. I was with Rick Davin, captain of YVAC, the Yorktown Volunteer Ambulance Corps, yesterday, over at the Dropbox. We did a video. It's on the Facebook page if people are on, want to watch the Facebook page. And Rick informed us that he goes through 25 sets of the PPEs per call. So they have a drastic demand that needs to be met, because when we do have people who are falling ill, it's our first responders who are going to their doors, into their houses, and they are, of course, adhering to specific protocols. And we have a daily conference call with all of our first responders from YVAC, the chief of police, both fire departments, Mohegan EMS, and we're continuing to share information and share procedures and protocols. But right now, the concern, I think, as Captain Davin was able to articulate perfectly, 25 PPEs per call that they are going through, and so that's going to continue to rise, I believe, as we continue down this road, and we need to make sure that they are properly equipped with the necessary material.
When will the information pertaining to child care for healthcare workers through Yorktown School District be made available?
It's a great question. I was on the phone multiple times this weekend with Dr. Hatter. He is working diligently on this. I believe that once he has a plan in place, he will, of course, provide that. He's done a great job providing information to the public and to the parents. He continues to send out emails as well as provide letters that are on the Yorktown Central School District site.
God bless.
Excuse me.
This is a good one here. Can I still donate an open box of latex glove or closed boxes only?
We would, I think, rather the closed boxes over to the Dropbox.
If someone is denied testing, is there anything they can do to seek assistance? Anything?
So the testing is predicated off of very specific questions that the Department of Health is asking. I've been on calls with the Commissioner of Health many times, saying we have a situation where we think this person should be tested, and we walk through the scenario. And if the individual does not provide, or they basically check this, specific boxes for that individual, then they do not qualify for testing. We just don't have enough tests right now for everybody involved. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. My allergies are just bugging. And so so if you're denied testing, yes, make sure you use the hand sanitizer, Tom. Thank you. If you're denied testing, that's because they are not qualifying for testing because they don't meet the full criteria. That's the ultimate answer there. And we have more phone calls coming through. 962-5722, extension 216 to ask a question. Town Hall, Supervisor Slater, how can I help you? Absolutely. Happy to do it. Yes. Correct. Yep. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's a great question. I'm happy to address it. Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. The question for everyone at home and watching was about Taconic Pharmacy. Taconic Pharmacy in Jefferson Valley does have a letter posted on the door. They had an employee who tested positive for COVID-19. That is not a requirement that I'm aware of. They were doing that voluntarily, and I applaud them for being transparent in that manner. I do not know the specifics We have not been notified by the Department of Health of anything pertaining to Taconic Pharmacy. There are rumors of other businesses in that plaza, which we have not been notified of either. Again, all we are notified of are individuals. Nothing pertaining to businesses, and to my knowledge, businesses are not required to publicly post if they, in fact, had an employee test positive for COVID-19. I'm not saying that they should, but shouldn't. But I do applaud Taconic Pharmacy for being so forthcoming with that information.
Will roads close in Yorktown at 8 p.m.?
Yep, we've talked about this earlier. Roads do not close. We've had several questions about this. If you are trying to get in your car, if you have to go, if you must, 100% must go somewhere. If someone's traveling from out of state back to Yorktown, roads remain open. There's no barriers and no checkpoints. There's no barriers or no checkpoints that you will run into. Town Hall. This is Supervisor Slater. Absolutely. Happy to do it. Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. So the question on the phone is regarding remodeling. And I spoke with Senator Harkin about this, and I thank him for getting me the information. The governor's office is considering all construction essential at this point, to our knowledge. So I do actually think that remodeling is considered an essential construction trade, and so I would just urge you just to use caution and social practicing, and make sure that anything that you can do to avoid contact, you should take every precaution possible. Yep, understood. But yes, the governor's office has, to my understanding, identified all construction as essential, as I said, as an essential service. No problem. Happy to answer your question. Take care. Yep. Bye bye.
There's a question as to if we know if the supermarkets have been able to get ahead of the supply chain and stock sanitizer.
Yeah, the governor addressed this earlier. I've seen it addressed a few times. The supply chain continues to move and continues to restock, and so there does not seem to be an issue pertaining to the supply chain. Our grocery stores will remain open. They are considered an essential service by the state of New York, and so this notion of purchasing dozens and dozens and dozens of packs of toilet paper, it seems to be I love the memes on Facebook, by the way. All the pictures on Facebook are hysterical. But that's just not realistic. That's just not realistic. There is no issue. The stores are restocking, and obviously they're trying to keep up with demand. But the supply chain continues to move, and I was on a conference call with the federal government about this last week, and they're supporting the supply chain, and they're reinforcing the supply chain. So nothing anyone has to do about running to the store and thinking that we're never going to see a roll of toilet paper again. That is completely and utterly false.
There was a question as to if the school districts can donate some of their boxes of rubber gloves to first responders.
Yeah, I've spoken with both superintendents about that, and we're having that conversation. We only had that conversation, I believe, today. But they have been so supportive. And again, you got Dr. Hatter sitting at home, probably watching right now, making masks, retrofitting masks out of the old plastic sheets that were in the overhead projectors,
yep.
Because that's something that he saw and we've discussed, and so that's what he's doing right now. So they've been great partners, both of them. Town Hall, Supervisor Slater. Yeah, that's a great question. The light over at the corner of Commerce and Veterans, that was it should be getting if I remember correctly, and that's a great question for Highway Superintendent Paganelli. It was a 2-week time frame when we originally ordered it, and so I would anticipate that being fixed If not this week, then next week at this point in time. Assuming that the parts were properly delivered, and we did it that way because the cost benefit analysis was clear. We had to spend $1,000 a day, more than $1,000 a day, for someone to come out and fix it. It would only work for a matter of hours versus just spending $5,000 and getting the full parts to be completely fixed and operational. So that's why that decision was made. Okay, you're welcome. Take care. Bye bye. So again, it's Supervisor Slater. I'm joined here with Councilman Lachterman. We've been providing information for people on COVID-19. We did provide some new information for those who are just tuning in. We do have 11 cases confirmed in the town of Yorktown. We are starting in, it's now 7:20 in 40 minutes. New York State on pause goes into effect. The biggest piece of that plan put forth by Governor Cuomo, ordered by Governor Cuomo, is a 100% reduction of non-essential workforce in New York State. And so I wanted to be here to speak to the residents of Yorktown directly, to answer your questions directly. I genuinely appreciate Councilman Lachterman joining me spontaneously, but it's been an enormous help, so thank you. We continue to work, like I said earlier. It's town government continues to function. We continue to work. We continue to work with all of our partners in government, from the White House to the governor's office to the county executive's office, and of course with my fellow board members who we speak to daily, if not more. And we have another question coming from the public. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. Hey, John. Could you be more specific about that? What do you mean by electronic services? Gotcha. Yeah. So the question is, are we using what technological advances are we implementing for the town to function? The town board meetings and all town-related meetings are canceled through the month of March. We are working with our vendor to we're looking at Zoom, we're looking at Microsoft Teams, we're looking at a number of potential solutions. Half the problem with that, which was only recently rectified, and we got guidance from the county, was the open meeting law. So we have to make sure that we're in compliance, obviously, with the open meetings law, which we got some relief from the governor and some direction from our legal counsel and from the county legal department as well. So we are engaging in that, John, as we speak. I know that you sent me an email. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about your needs separately, but we are looking to utilize. I think it's going to be Zoom. To be honest with you, was what the best advice we got from our technological department or consultant, Sullivan Data, was for Zoom. Okay, take care. Stay well. Bye bye.
Will health aid workers need ID cards?
Health aid workers need ID cards. It's a very interesting question. Right now, the only requirement that I'm aware of pertaining to home health aides is before getting a new assignment in the town of Yorktown, they have to be properly screened and cleared by their parent agency. Personally, I believe more needs to be done. We do not have the authority to do that at this point because the governor has issued a separate order that states any order needs to be approved by the Department of Health, which this would be one of those orders. But I have continued to raise it. We do, and I've worked with actually our town clerk, Diana Quast, on this. We do have significant concerns pertaining to just ensuring the health and safety of our seniors and individuals who are immunocompromised. And when you have home health aides coming who may have been exposed themselves, there's no mechanism in place right now to ensure that they are in fact healthy. At least not one that I've been made aware of. So it is a very serious and significant concern of mine. Town Hall, this is Supervisor Slater. I'm good. How you doing? Right. It's a great question. I've spoken with some of my fellow supervisors. We don't have a great answer. The question is about landscaping services. I I don't have a clear answer from the governor's office pertaining to landscaping services. If you could give me your name and number, I'm happy to get back to you when I have a clear answer. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. 9366. All right, Ant, I'll get back to you when I have an answer on landscaping companies. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Stay healthy. Bye-bye. That's another great question about landscaping. And this is some of the things that we've talked about earlier, is there's so much information, and to provide that clarity for the public that's digestible. And so we get, my office gets bombarded with information that we try to validate and provide to the public so that you understand exactly what's going on. And that's part of the reason we're here tonight. And again, to provide information about New York on pause, what does that mean? Who does that impact? But also to answer questions, because there are a lot of questions, because as I think someone who called earlier stated, there's a lot of gray. And life is just, life, of course, is more gray than black and white, unfortunately, these days. But we're trying to get that clarification from the governor's office to give you, the public, the best direction we can. Any other questions on Facebook, Ed?
Yeah, there was a question regarding seniors with physical therapy, and why that's still happening. And I would have to imagine that that's a doctor's call on the necessity.
That's one of the that's the question about senior citizens and physical therapy. That's one of the gray areas that we had talked about earlier. I believe someone had called, maybe it was Denise, who was discussing the fact that New Jersey has different parameters for non-essential versus essential healthcare workers than New York. And it's not that they're different, but they're just more direct and clear. And so we're trying to get that clarity from the governor's office. I speak with the governor's office multiple times a day, and I speak with several members of his team. They've been tremendous. I genuinely appreciate Governor Cuomo's leadership during this crisis. I think he's been tremendous. And so I'm confident that we will be getting that clarity and information given to us, which then we will pass to the public. Any other questions, Ed?
Just one question on the workers in town. Are they being compensated full-time and part-time?
So the workers in town are continued to be paid. We committed to that. I committed to that when the workforce reduction originally went into place to 50%. So they, I think it's important that we take care of our employees and we take care of their families. I know that people, people are concerned, and I get that. They continue to, like I said, go above and beyond in certain ways. Just because they're not scheduled to work doesn't mean they're not working. But that's something that we are working on with our department heads. I've asked each department to provide me with their proposals. I don't micromanage my department heads. They're department heads for a reason. And so I trust their instincts. I trust their insight, and we've worked all weekend. I was on the phone with our department heads specifically about scheduling employees, and so right now the town remains committed to supporting all of our employees in a full time or in a basis that we would be paying them if it was under a different circumstance.
Is there a list of businesses in Yorktown that are deemed essential versus non-essential?
There's no list of specific businesses. Again, go to yorktownny.org to the COVID-19 page. You can find what the governor has provided that categorizes essential versus non-essential. I would also urge everyone to go on and take the takeout pledge to support our Main Street restaurants and eateries. That's something that we've done in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce, and that is on our website, as well as the participating restaurants. And of course, if there are restaurants out there who would like to be added, you can add yourself. This is not restricted to Chamber members only. That was a prerequisite of the program, was to open it up to any and all businesses, any and all restaurants, whether they're Chamber or not, because we are here to support all of our Main Street businesses, all of our Main Street restaurants and eateries.
And where was that on the?
It's on the yorktownny.org. Go to the COVID-19 page. It's right on the front there, and there's a ton of information. Again, hotlines, town hall, contact information, police department's information, All of this is being driven to that one page to try to give everyone as much information as we can. And we do it in a multitude of ways. We do it on Facebook. We do it through these evening briefings, which continue to play for 24 hours until we record another one. We continue to do it on the website. And so if someone doesn't have Facebook, they can go on the website. But we're trying to, and I do want to thank our partners in the media because they have been covering a lot of the things that we've been doing. So we're just trying to get as much valid information, accurate information out to you, the public, because I'm going to echo the governor because I think he's spot on. It's a two-front war. We have the virus, which our partners on the federal government and the state government are doing a tremendous job combating. And then there's misinformation. And we need to combat misinformation because if you combat misinformation, you're stopping or preventing fear. You prevent fear, you prevent panic. And so I understand that these circumstances, it's not what everyone intended or hoped for. These are unprecedented circumstances that we're living through. But I know that we're going to get through them. And if we can continue to provide the necessary and accurate information, we're going to be able to get through them calmly, confidently. And again, I say it all the time, and I think we're going to sign off here, but this is Yorktown. We lead from the front. We don't back down from a fight. And I've said it once, I'll say it again. I harken back to the days of 9/11. This is about being a community. This is about coming together. This is about helping each other, raising each other up, supporting each other. And there's a multitude of ways to do that. And so while we may be physically restricted to do certain things, we're also able to communicate and interact with people who are in need, who do need that phone call, who do need some FaceTime. Tommy Ciangela continues to lose to his grandson in Hangman. But this is the time where we need each other. And I've seen it once. I've seen it multiple times in this community because I grew up in this community. These are the values that this community taught me. And so we will continue to stand tall. We will continue to stand strong. And we will continue to be a leader for the rest of the community. We're going to take this one last call, and then we're going to call it a night.
I have one comment from Ed here.
Town Hall, Supervisor Slater. Hey, Andrea, how are you? We are absolutely working on trying to get you guys back to work over at your company. I spoke with the governor's office today. Senator Harckham is intimately involved. And so we are doing everything we can to get your operation up and running to produce those masks and gowns and the needed items for our frontliners and first responders. So we're doing everything we can, but your courage and your commitment goes a long way. So we really do appreciate it. You make Yorktown proud, that's for sure. No problem, Andrea. We'll be in touch, okay? Stay well. All right. Be well. Bye-bye. And the last question, Ed?
Well, actually, a question and a comment. Well, I'll give the comment first. Since it came from Carol, I have to put it out there. She suggested that with all the rumors going around that people try to share these briefings online, on Facebook, to their friends, because there's a lot of rumors out there that are just rampant. And here is good, strong, verified information. If we don't have the answer, we let you know, and we'll find the answer. But it would be great for you to share this with your friends if there are a lot of questions.
Yeah, right. And you can find all these videos on the town's website or on the town's YouTube page as well. We store them all there. And I want to give Tom Ciangela a big take this call. Now Tommy's telling me I have to take a call.
Okay.
Town Hall, Supervisor Slater. Hey, Highway Superintendent, how are you? We're good. I got our Highway Superintendent, Dave Paganelli, on the phone here. What's cooking there, Dave? Are we getting snow tomorrow? There you go. Good. How can I help you? What do you got for us? The Hill. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Mm-hmm. Of course. Of course. And then and the hours for access to this. So again, for folks at home and watching, I'm on the phone with our highway superintendent Dave Paganelli, who's getting ready for just a little snow, not too much snow. But the organic recycling yard located at 2200 Greenwood Street, the hours will remain the same, Dave. So the organic recycling yard for everyone at home remains open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 to 2:45 p.m. It's again located at 2200 Greenwood Street. It is open again Monday through Saturday from 7:30 to 2:45. And I really want to thank Dave. I really want to thank you for getting that open for our residents and your staff. It's really tremendous, and I know a lot of people have used it. All right. Thanks, Dave. Stay well, okay? Talk to you soon.
And last Facebook question, PPEs, do that need to go directly to the box, or can they drop off at the ambulance corps?
PPEs, we are asking to go directly to the box, directly to the drop-in, and we are dispersing that, again, to all of our first responders and frontliners. So we do ask that to go to the box.
Gloves, masks?
Gloves, masks, gowns.
Great.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Last call. I promise it's the last call. Town Hall, Supervisor Slater. According to on the conference call on Friday with the county executive, the Beeline bus remains in service as regularly scheduled. I have not heard of any difference at this point in time in changing the schedule, so it should be the normal Beeline bus service schedule. You're welcome. Yep, appreciate it. Stay healthy. Bye-bye. And with that, Yorktown, as we always say, stay safe, stay healthy, and if there's any new information, valid and accurate information, I'll be back tomorrow night to provide it to you, the public. And in the meantime, if you do need anything, you can always call 914-962-5722, extension 200. That's my direct line, 914-962-5722, extension 200. Or you can email me directly, mslater@yorktownny.org. Stay safe again, stay healthy, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much.